People principle number 25. The satisfaction principle. The satisfaction principle basically says, in great relationships, the joy of being together is enough. In fact, a joy shared is a joy doubled. And the question I must ask myself is, do my closest friends enjoy just being with me? Jack Benny and George Burns were very good friends, and here's what George Burns said of his friend Jack Benny. Jack and I had a wonderful friendship for nearly 55 years. Jack never walked out on me while I sang a song, and I never walked out on him when he played the violin. We laughed together, we played together, we worked together, we ate together. I suppose that for many of those years, we talked every single day. I think all of us would love to have a relationship like Benny and Burns, or like that of an older married couple that we've met. But how do we get there? The foundation is built upon all the previous people principles in this book. A lasting relationship begins as a healthy relationship. Beyond that, I believe that 4 factors help to create the right climate for relationships where simply being together is enough. Number 1, shared memories create a bonded environment. Margaret and I have been married for over 35 years. When we entered in this marriage relationship, we never had an idea that I would be able to do what I've been able to do, travel where I've been able to travel. But I can tell you this, we determined that if I was ever going to go to some place exciting, and she wanted to go, I'd take her with me. Now, in the first few years, when that happened, I had to borrow money because I didn't have any money. So I would borrow money from a family member and take those few $100s, and she would go with me on the trip. Because basically what we settled was very simple. I don't want us to come to the end of our life and somehow be on the deathbed and me tell her all the exciting things I've done. No, I'm not into that. I'm not into show and tell. I'm into let's experience it together. Number 2, growing together creates a committed environment. Beginnings and endings are often much easier than the hard work of sustaining relationships. Why? Beginning relationships possess the excitement of starting together. Continuing relationships possess the commitment of sticking together. But lasting relationships possess the joy of staying together. So what is the bridge that spans the gap between relationships that start together and those that stay together? The answer is growth. People who grow together become more committed to one another, and I think they are usually happier too. Number 3, mutual respect creates a healthy environment. On her 25th wedding anniversary, Abigail Van Buren put the following letter to her husband in her syndicated Dear Abby column. Here's what she said. Dear Mort, today is a very special day for me. It's my 25th wedding anniversary, and I have this to say. I had a mother and father who really loved each other, so I know what love is. I've worked hard to see 2 teenagers safely through their traumatic teens, so I know what satisfaction is. I have prayed and my prayers have been answered, so I know what faith is. I have had by my side the kindest, gentlest, most considerate human being I have ever known, so I know what joy is. I love you. Respect within a relationship creates a healthy environment because it produces 2 things. First, it creates trust, and as you know, trust is the foundation of all relationships. And second, it engenders servanthood. People almost can't stop themselves from helping and serving someone they deeply respect. As Albert Einstein said, only a life lived for others is worthwhile. Number 4, unconditional love. Create a safe environment. Children's author Dinah Marie Murlock wrote, "Oh, the inexpressible comfort of feeling safe with a person, having neither to weigh thoughts nor measure words, but to pour them all out just as they are, chaff and grain together, knowing that a faithful hand will take and sift them. Keep what is worth keeping, and then with the breath of kindness, blow the rest away. When somebody loves you with no strings attached and no personal agenda, it is the most freeing thing in the world. It creates a safe environment wherever you are. It's just like I was on the plane the other day, and Margaret was traveling with me, and somebody asked me, said, "Where's home for you?" Because they surmised I travel a lot. I pointed over to Margaret, and I said, "Wherever she is. That's where home is." Now, we have a house, but if I'm just with her, I'm home. I feel very fortunate to have Margaret. I tell people all the time that the greatest decision I ever made was to ask her to marry me. I think about that daily, and I try to tell her as often as I can. And on Valentine's Day, 2004, I wrote her a note reflecting on our relationship, and she's given me permission to share it with you. Margaret, it was about this time 40 years ago that we started dating. Although each year seems to be going by quicker than the previous one, our lives have been filled with memories. At 56, I have forgotten many, but the special ones are still today very real to me. I ask myself, were the memories special because of what we did or because we experienced them together? The answer is both. The specialness was greater because we were together. When we are apart, I look forward to our telephone time each evening. It's the highlight of my day. Why? It's because we both share our list of things that have happened to us that day. No, it's because we are once again together. I can well remember the anticipation I felt when we were courting as I drove from Circleville to Chillicothe for a date night with you. I could hardly wait. The years have not diminished the anticipation to once again see you after I've been gone. That's why I call you as I leave the airport on my way home. Margaret, the joy you display when you see me again has stayed strong over all these years. Every time I call, you answer the phone with the same excitement that expresses to me that I'm loved. I'll never forget the time you sold some of your Ohio State textbooks and bought a bus ticket so that you could surprise me and we could have an evening together, or the time you traveled from Nepal to Delhi to spend an extra night with me. Those extra efforts to be together are what have made our marriage so successful. A relationship never stays the same. It either grows closer or apart. 40 years after ours began, we still like to be together. Let's take a walk to the mailbox. Love, John.